And the craziest thing, Bilal, is that not even 24 hours after making that decision to quit my job as a sales rep, I got the biggest opportunity of my life ever. This next 12 months is going to be the biggest of my life. And I'm probably going to make the most amount of money I've ever made in my life as an RSP operator, because I had my first 10, 15K a month as an operator from one client. I didn't have 15 clients. I believe in having one, like a handful of clients I can give my all to.
Yeah.
People like me and Bilal are going to fuck you up, straight up.
So all right, so we're jumping in. This is one of the boys, Gusto or Gusto. Wait, how do you like saying it? Gusto.
You can just call me Gusto.
Gusto, sweet, or Gus. Some of you guys may know him. Some of you guys may not. This guy's been in the reserve for how long now?
Since like end of July.
End of July. Okay, so start of August, give or take. How many months has that been? Like 2.5 months so far.
Yeah, like 2.5, 3 months.
Sweet. Well, for sure. Well, bro, you've been like a fucking pleasure to work with. So just kind of throwing that out there. You're 20 years old. You've been absolutely crushing it. You got a major launch coming up, which, if you want to get into it and talk about it, feel free to. If not, bro, let's just jump in. Tell them like what you're doing before jumping into the reserve, and just kind of take it from there. Give it like a little introduction.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, bro, it's been a long fucking journey. I didn't realize how long I've actually been in info until I actually like look back to my history. Bro, when I was like 16 years old, I invested $10,000 in a mentor. His name was Jay.
Crazy.
One of my really great friends. So it was like money I saved up as like a busboy, like fucking
bro, that's
hustling
insane.
in the summertime.
That's insane.
Yeah, so my first job was legitimately like a busboy, dishwasher, just hustling 14 to 16. Saved up some money. And I was like, you know what? Like, is 10K going to really be my end-all, be-all? Fuck no. Whack the card.
Damn.
And, bro, it was the last 10K I had. And that guy, Jay, was the first mentor of mine who, I mean, I can say, we scaled the fuck out of his info product. And I had no idea it was an info product. We just saw, like, Grant Cardone. We saw, like, selling masterminds and, like, webinars and all this cool stuff. Bro, he's like, when I first worked with him, he took me under his wing and like to Tampa Bay. I was living with him at his penthouse at the Heron, if you guys know.
How old were you at this time?
Bro, I was like 16, 17 years old with this guy. And we were in Tampa Bay, and I was legitimately like at Grant Cardone conferences, sitting in the front row with a notepad with like an audio recording. And I would record the entire conference, put it into GPT if that wasn't even a thing at that point. And I would just like take all the notes. We'd use those notes. And he had like this men's coaching like offer, and I helped him scale that. So I've been in info technically for fucking like 4 to.
What were you doing to help him scale? Were you like a sales rep, and then you're kind of helping like a little bit on the system?
Bro, I was like the CEO without the title. Like I was legitimately his right hand, booking him podcasts. I ended up booking him a podcast with like Gary Cardone, Grant Cardone's brother, twin brother in Tampa.
Yeah.
Cold DM'd him. Got connected with his right hand, booked the podcast. I was booking podcasts, built his funnels out from scratch, built automations and closing sales. So that was like the earlier part of my career where I got to like really see the back end of an offer and learn the marketing part of it. Mm-hmm. Then I was in sales. So that was like my first intro to like high ticket sales was that opportunity.
Yeah.
But for the last like 20 months, pretty much, I was in high ticket sales as a closer.
What was that like, bro? Like some people, they kind of see it and they're like, high ticket closing, you get, to work from your home or like whatever. You have that like laptop lifestyle. You get to travel, make money. What's like the reality of like high ticket sales, bro? What was it for you?
Yeah, I mean, my first ever experience in sales was that with Jay. But like my first real opportunity was closing. And I found out about sales from like one of my friends who used to work with Grant Cardone. He was like, had this like sales mentorship program.
Yeah.
And he was like, bro, Gus, like I would see videos of like people living this laptop lifestyle. And the guy I purchased his pro was like $2,500 to like learn how to get sales. He was selling me on that vision, but it's not that, and I'm very blessed. Like sales was what got me to Miami, living here, 20 years old,
right,
in my own apartment, making money, it was great, but you can't be on the beach in Cabo closing deals and think you're gonna make 20, 30K a month. Like it doesn't work like that. I'm sure as a closer, like, bro, it's work. It's actually more work than like a regular 9 to 5. Like you don't just jump into sales because you want to, or like you were just like kind of meant there, right? You jump into sales because you made the decision to be in sales. I don't want to have a cap on my income. I want to make money. I want to escape the rat race. And it's like the most direct way to get your goals. Like, what's the other option, bro? What are you going to go work a 9 to 5?
Right.
And, like,
cap income, cap schedule, like the whole nine. So for you, like you're in sales, you kind of realize that you're sold the dream. You jump in and you're like, fuck, this isn't it. But like the money kind of kept you hooked in. When did you kind of realize that like you're kind of hitting like a dead end with sales?
Well, it wasn't for like 16 months. I mean, for 12 months straight, I was a number 1 producer on the team I was working with. I collected over $5 million in cash in like a 12-month period and made over $400,000 as a sales rep. And I was killing it, right? But at a point, I always knew like there was going to be a next level in sales. I didn't know when it was going to be. My main focus was making money and getting out of the trenches. Just joking. I live like in the fucking suburbs, bro. But, you know. But that was like my intention. Like, how do I just make money right now? And once I made my first couple $100K in sales, I was like, all right, I've got the marketing figured out from Jay. I've got the sales figured out. Okay, like what's that next level? And like I was already thinking about like that next step because I've always wanted to be like a millionaire. I wanted to have like, you know, I have some big targets, bro. Like, and there's only a couple of different business models you can get into if you want to have a fucking private jet and a yacht and 100 Bitcoin and like a collection worth $5 million in watches. Like
the whole nine.
There's only a couple of different models in business you can get into if you want to hit that, right? So I knew at some point I was going to own my own business, do my own thing. But at the end of like my sales career, like as a closer specifically, this was like in July. Like I was closing, but I was like, you know what? There's a next level. I ended up coming across Grant in your guys' ads on the reserve. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? Like I have heard of this like operating role. Like there is another level. Like there's got to be some more higher leverage role. And it was like, okay, I could either go and start a new business in a completely different industry, like e-commerce, you know, drop shipping or a fucking detailing company, which I'd done when I was younger. I didn't want any of that. I'd rather take the skills that I've already learned in the industry I'm already in and take those skill sets and go into a more higher leverage position, which was operating. And it made sense. I was like, why not just, instead of closing deals, why not work for offer owners that want to scale their teams and take a rev share? That was like, shit. 100%. If an offer is doing $500K a month and I'm taking 10, 20% rev share, you know, that number adds up pretty quick, bro.
For sure, bro. And aside from the money, I mean, one thing that you said was like leverage. So for someone who's like outside perspective looking in, what do you mean by leverage, and why is like the RSP model more leverage? Like explain that.
Well, bro, at the end of the day, like as a closer or a setter or even a sales manager, you're in the trenches every day. Like, and again, if you want to be a good RSP or operator or growth operator, whatever the fuck you want to call the name, you have to be in the trenches every day. Like, I'm actually working more hours than I was as a closer, but I'm not talking to prospects and clients every day. Like, that's the difference. Is like, instead of hopping on calls and kind of being forced to like make that meeting at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., all the way to 9 p.m. And like, if I don't make those calls, I'm not making money. You can land one client and make 20K, 30K, 40K. And with this launch offer I'm going to be on, bro, that's like a potential 6-figure payout off of one client, one sale you did that's going to pay you for months and months and months on end, right? And that's like the leverage plays. Like once you get one client, you know, you build the system, you build the team.
You're no longer trading your time for money.
You're not trading your time for money. You're just kind of managing it and making sure it's running smoothly. Right. Pretty much.
For sure. For you, like when you first jumped into the model, like obviously you understood like marketing from like almost like a PR like standpoint, of, like getting people out there, getting their face out there, building your brand, credibility. Then you understood like the sales process. Coming into like the reserve, you didn't really know how to like piece things together. When you came in, like were you almost like overstimulated with all the information, or did you like kind of get like a sense of clarity? Or kind of explain like your first couple like weeks in the actual process?
Well, I'll be honest. Like I think it was a little bit of a different perspective. I knew, right, regardless if I was going to work with you guys or do it myself, I knew I was going to be successful, right? But the shortcut is what I paid for, right? The ability to go from 0 to 100 really quick is why I believe like it's way more worth it to just pay someone who's in a position you want to be in to learn their strategies. Like I could have probably went on YouTube, listened to Ben Bader's content, RIP, and like all this shit to figure it out, because I already knew how to build funnels. I knew how to do sales. I knew how to market. I knew how to get clients. Like I probably could have figured out all the different strategies myself, but the ability to like not have to go through trial and error and pay someone to just shortcut my time window was way more valuable to me than anything else. So the only thing I was missing was like, just like I don't know how to explain it. It was just like a little bit of like confidence, and like, I wanted to honestly just justify myself. I was okay spending the money to learn from someone who's in a position I want to be in, just to justify what I was thinking, to make sure I was right. Because I'd rather do it the right way the first time, Bilal, than try to like fuck up and do it over and over again and try to like waste time.
Yeah.
Right. So my first couple of weeks in the reserve was honestly like super smooth. I was like, all right, this makes sense. Like I already had that perspective, and like totally like there was a lot of stuff in there that I didn't fully know. Like maybe I had like a general idea, like, hey, here's how a funnel works. You apply, you know, book a call, pre-call confirmation, you know, automations and email sequences to warm up a prospect to buy. Like I had the general idea because I was working on $1 million month offer as a closer. So like I've already seen a lot of that stuff, but what gave me a lot of confidence is like having it systematized, right? Because I had the idea, but having it on paper and saying, all right, this is exactly how you should run a funnel for the specific offer or ICP you're working with. That was like the clarity I needed to run with full speed. And bro, within my first like 2 weeks in the reserve, I had my first like 2 clients, got like a 3.5K setup fee, 20% rev share. And I mean, I was just fucking off the races from there.
100%, bro. 100%. It was really just like buttoning up the things for you. And that's one thing that I respect about you, bro. Like for you, I mean, we're kind of the same age, bro. You're 20 years old. I'm 20 years, 20 years old as well.
You're a young hustler too, bro. You're
for sure, bro. That's kind of, it's the game, bro. But, you know, you came in with like a super open mind, bro. Obviously, like when you have experience in the game, bro, it's easy to come in with like an ego and, you know, almost be like, oh, you know, I know it all. And the truth is like, if you haven't a high IQ coming into this and you come from like a super serious background in business, like it only hurts you because you start overthinking things. You start over analyzing data and just like getting super complex with like the way that you're thinking about stuff. And it's really all about implementation. And so I want to drive you towards that factor of like, you almost had like a lack of confidence jumping in of whether or not you could do it. You know, you're scared about whether or not you should quit your job. You didn't know if this is all something that you should take 100%. And today you're in a position where you're not working, you know, your sales role. You're not doing that at all. And you're just focused on being an RSP and building the best business in the game. So guide people through like that process of like building the confidence, and kind of just go from there.
Yeah. I mean, it was scary, bro. Like, I don't know if you guys just tell the quick story. Like, I was extremely nervous, bro, to like quit my job. Like I was talking to Grant, I was talking to Bilal, talking to my sales manager. I was like, bro, like, I don't know, like, but it was like 2 weeks of like my mind thinking about this. And then one day I had this like gut feeling inside me. It was like, I don't know, for whatever reason, I've had a bunch of those like gut feeling experiences like a couple of times in my life.
Yeah.
And every time I've had those gut feelings, it was because I knew I needed to make a decision, but I haven't made it yet. Right. And I just knew like, fuck, like this is it. Like, if not now, when? And I had to genuinely just balls up, make the decision. And the craziest thing, Bilal, is that not even 24 hours after making that decision to quit my job as a sales rep, I got the biggest opportunity in my life ever. And it's crazy how the universe works. I'm not going to get to the details. Maybe we'll do a second
follow up in a few months. Yes, sir. You already know it.
We'll do a little follow up. But, bro, I mean, this next 12 months is going to be the biggest of my life. And I'm probably going to make the most amount of money I've ever made in my life these next 12 months, especially in January. But I just had to bet on myself, bro. And that was the thing. Like, the fear of me losing that income as a sales rep, what overpowered that was me betting on myself and believing I could do it. And that's the one thing that I could say, God honest to the truth, like if there's one thing that like I can, you know, credit my entire success to as a 20-year-old is my ability to think massively and bet on myself. Those are the two things. I was watching a video, bro, of me at like 5 years ago, it was like a 15-minute video of me yapping on my phone. And it was, bro, I was legitimately manifesting all this shit I have now, living in Miami, wearing Rolexes, meeting the people I'm meeting. Like 5 years ago, I was thinking about that shit. But because I bet on myself and made those hard decisions, like that is what ultimately pushed over the edge. So what was the main, I don't know if that answered your question.
No,
Was there anything I'm missing there?
It really did. So yeah, it really did. I guess to kind of double down on that, like what do you think was the biggest push for you to be able to like just say fuck it? Like what do you think was like the biggest, thing within the circle? Was it kind of like looking at the community and some of the results that they were doing? Was it just, one of those things where, you got your first 10K month and you're just like, fuck it, like I can really double down? Or what do you think was like that pivoting factor where you said, hey, this is it?
Yeah. I mean, I guess what did it was like, not to mention any names, but the offer I was working with at the time, we were doing really, really well for like the first half of the year. And then it started to like kind of die down. I wasn't making as much money as I was making months before.
Mm-hmm.
So I was making like 10K a month as a closer versus like 20, 30K a month.
Yeah.
And like that wasn't part of it. So I was making about the same amount of money I was making as an RSP operator because I had my first 10, 15K a month as an operator from one client. I didn't have 15 clients. I believe in having one, like a handful of clients I can give my all to.
Yeah.
And I had one client pay me $10,000 a month. And I looked at my other pay stub for my sales role. I was like, you know what? I'm making more as an RSP, or I'm making about the same. So what's the worst case scenario? Worst case scenario is I go all in, I give it my all. And if I genuinely try as hard as I possibly can and don't succeed, which I might have to jump off my balcony, that's the type of mindset I fucking have, then I can just go back to closing, making the same amount of money. Like, what's the worst case? Just go back to being a closer.
Right.
And once that clicked for me, I was like, fuck it, bro. I've got some reserves. I got some Bitcoin. I'm chilling. I don't have to worry about that. And I ultimately just was like, you know what? I got to balls up, be gusto, and just believe myself. And that was like the big turning point. But to go back to like the reserve, it wasn't like the success the students had, because that's obviously, there's obviously a lot of people in the reserve having great success. For me, what it was like the realization that like, what's the worst case scenario? And then having the confidence that Bilal, Grant, the people in the group are going to fucking hold me accountable.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, like your circle is what creates you. My mom always used to say, bro, like,
it's the truth.
It is.
If you see six YNs walking down the street, bro, you can believe that the seventh one next to them is a YN too. And then you cross the street.
There's a lot of YNs here.
No, for sure. But no, that's sick, dude. So I think one thing that's crazy is a lot of people, like, they'll come to us and, like, especially younger guys, like, they're like, oh, dude, I work at 9 to 5. Oh, dude, I'm in college. I'm in school. Like, I can't focus on this right now. Bro, you were working what hours as a sales rep and doing this at the same time? And, like, how long did it take you to, like, basically match your current income while working a full-time
Within a month.
How many hours were you working as a sales rep?
As a sales rep, I was working 12 hours a day.
Brutal.
And during my sales calls, I have like a really big monitor. So I'd have a sales call pulled up, talking to a client, because I legitimately memorized the script. I didn't have to fucking have a script. I would literally just be yapping, and over here, I'd be working on like my client's funnel or like touching in Slack. And that's like, I always tell people, like, any sales rep, like, bro, I just hired 25 sales reps for this launch offer we're doing, okay? I always tell my sales reps, if you make sales your number one priority, you'll be good at it and you'll make a fuck ton of money. But it has to be your number one priority, right? If you're in school, make it your number one priority. Like, if you want to be a doctor, bro, go fucking all in on being overachiever, extracurricular, extra points, clubs, do all of it, right? Don't just go half in.
Right.
If you're going to do all in on sales, go all in. And that was the thing for me, is like, I was all in on sales already. That, bro, I mean, even working 12 hours a day, like, I made becoming the best operator and making more money such a priority for me that even if I was fucking taking calls, I was working on it. So there's no excuse.
Dude,
like, there generally is no excuse.
Bro. That's honestly, bro, that's the biggest eye-opening thing. It's like, people come into the space, bro, and they think that everything's like silver spoon, silver platter.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to come in and you're going to have like this, that, and the third, bro. At the end of the day, dude, no one gives a fuck. Like we're in a model, bro, where it's like in any business, bro, in ecom, right, in trading, like, bro, people are out to get you. People are out to take your money. Even in the job that you're in right now, bro, you're being undercut. And you as a sales rep, like, bro, you're getting 10% of a deal where the owner's getting fucking the rest of the 90. And it's like, you know what I mean? You're doing all the work. You're getting the deal across the line. You're objection handling, like. Bro, you just got to be tired of like getting undercut, and that's what I tell every single person, bro. And you guys, like, you're one of the fastest kids to pick up on it. And honestly, I respect you for that, bro, because that's something that you came from a similar background to me, bro. I was a sales rep, and then me and Grant were both on closing calls. By the end of the closing call, we go run a webinar. We run up 40K on a webinar, and that pays us out 5K each, and we're like, dude, that's great. Like, that's fucking awesome. And then we just quit, bro. We're like, dude, we're doing this. Like, you got to go all in. Because if you won't, then who's going to tell you to, bro? It's all up to you. 100%. But for you, bro, one thing that we did talk about is, like, the fear, right? The fear of, like, what if it doesn't work out? Or the fear of, like, maybe the opportunity that I have today is bigger than the opportunity that is pending for me or waiting for me. How are you able to, like, internalize the fear, and it's something that you're actually, like, pretty good at, and use it to motivate you more?
Yeah, I mean, I just think back at, like, my ideal self. I'm like, all right, what's the version of Gus 5 years later?
Yeah.
When he is rich and successful, right? Because, like, bro, I don't know, like, even that back to that example, that video I made 5 years ago in my parents' room, bro, I look back at myself, I'm like, holy fuck, bro. I genuinely did that. I spoke into existence, and now I'm here. Bro. I know what I'm doing now. In 5 years from now, oh my God, I'm going to be like so much more crazy, rich, and successful. And I just look at that person like, all right, what is that ideal version of Gus think about in this situation? Is he going to take the step and, like, bro, even think of it as like a movie character, right? That ideal version of yourself. If you're looking at it in a third-party perspective, and there's a fucking documentary crew in your life right now filming every single second, and it's like on the big screen making a decision. Does he stay where he's at and complacent, or does he take the jump and believe in himself, right? And I always look at it in that perspective before I make any big decisions. Like, am I going to go out and take this risk? And it's not really a risk when you know you're going to win. And I've never had a plan B ever, bro. That's like the one thing that, like, you can even ask my parents, my friends from back home. Right. When I was coming up in my journey, bro.
I mean, for fuck's sake, bro, you're a skateboarder at heart. That's as scary as it gets, dude.
Yeah, you have to fail 100 times before you can land one trick.
Yeah.
So I guess the principle of, like, not having a plan B was, like, always key for me. Because if you never have a plan B, I'm never going to go back to college. I'm never going to go back to working a 9 to 5. I'm never going to go back to this. My only plan is to make this work. And it's literally like a life or death decision. 100% of the time you'll make it work.
You can't fail. It's like, the only way you fail is if you quit. You just keep trying over and over and over and over and over again until you fucking land the trick, bro.
For real.
So there's no way to fail. Unless you have a fucking plan B, then you're like, oh, fuck this, bro. I'll just go back to the 9 to 5. And then you're a fucking pussy.
Or just go to college, bro. I'm just going to go my degree.
Yeah, you're a pussy.
Yeah.
It's not meant for you, bro. It's not meant for you. But, dude, that's pretty solid, bro. That's your mindset's super sharp, bro. And I hope anyone watching this, bro, like, can at least internalize that, bro. Like, me and Gus have a lot of similarities, bro. We actually linked up like 3 weeks ago. The only difference is that I'm a few inches taller than this motherfucker.
Nah, bro.
No, I'm trolling. But no, that's crazy. But for someone who's external, who's like, potentially thinking about like getting into like operations or getting into like, growth consulting or helping other businesses grow, and is debating it, questioning it, what is the one piece of advice that you can give them?
If I'm speaking to myself, like, a couple months ago, honestly, bro, I would just tell that motherfucker to, like, lock in. Straight up. Like, there's no other thing I could tell that motherfucker just to lock in.
Just to lock in.
No distractions. No one at your, like, no girlfriends, no huz, no chuz. Like,
no chuz. Dude, the chuds weren't coming, bro. That's nah, they weren't coming
Nah,
anyways.
nah.
No,
Maybe for some like people watching, maybe you got some chuds in July and just cut them off.
cut them
But no,
off.
dead ass. Like I would just tell a guy to just lock in. Like that mindset I've had just to lock in and have no distractions has been the only thing. Like if you're gonna do it, just go all in. Like don't be like on the fence. The one thing I've always learned is like make decisions fast, and if you're gonna do it, just do it now.
Mm-hmm. On the contrary, bro, for someone who's like, it's not for everyone, bro. At the end of
No,
the
it's
day,
not.
it's
That
not
is
for
not.
everyone, and there's certain people that won't necessarily make it in business at all, and it's not something that's like you're born that way. It's part of the mindset that you carry. It's part of the open mindedness that you have. It's part of the way that you move every single day. What would you distinguish as someone who's like not capable of doing something like this? And what would you tell that person who's genuinely like not
Not
someone who's
capable?
ideal? Yeah, not capable. And how can
You're
they
cooked,
fix
bro.
that?
You're cooked. I mean, people like me and Ball are gonna fuck you up straight up. Like you're just if you're not okay, bro. Here's the thing. It's
Dude,
unfortunate.
you're aggressive, bro, but go ahead. It's the truth.
Bro, the hard truth is that not everyone's gonna win. Okay? That's the hard truth. And you're either gonna be a winner or you'll be the person watching the winners win. That's the only difference. And the only difference between the person who is a winner and the person who watches winners win is the mindset. Like, I believe so much that I'm a winner, I'm the best at anything I do, that my actions daily reflect that. And no one can deny that. So that's like the most important thing is like if you just have that bulletproof mindset that you're just that fucking guy and you're that winner and you have no plan B and you're just like meant to be there. Like these last 12 months, like I feel like I've really stepped into my own identity and like believe that I am that guy. I am that person. I can make it work. If there's anyone out there that can do it, it's me. And that's the level of like commitment I have to have for myself to be a winner. 100%. And if you don't have that mindset, winners like me, winners like Bilal will come and fuck your shit up. Straight
fuck
up.
It up, bro. So the honest truth, bro, in today's society, bros, we have guys who are young that are in college. They see all the online shit. They see people making money that are super young, and they fall into two falsehoods, right? It's, hey, that guy's a scammer, or he got lucky. So my question for you is like someone who's like not been able to see success within themselves. They don't have the confidence. They're not fit. They're not hitting the gym. They're not waking up early. They're not doing all the things that they should be doing to build the confidence and the mindset that you're talking about. And they're, honestly like kind of depressed. What is your recommendation for those people to climb out of that and fix it and get in a better situation? And then we'll wrap up right there.
I mean, bro, I'll be honest, like, bro, people who are watching this right now and you described all the shit that they're doing and you just described their life path, the only way to get out of that, bro, is by doing the things that you know you need to do. I don't have to sit here and tell you what you need to do because the people watching that are in those situations, they already know exactly what they need to do. They know, oh shit, I probably shouldn't eat that. Shit, I probably should hit the gym. Oh, I probably should read a book, listen to a podcast, or find someone who's in a position I want to be in and watch their content. Like, I don't have to sit here and tell you step by step how to work better at that. All I can tell you is cut the bullshit and be completely honest with yourself. Be honest. Do you want to be rich and successful? Okay, great. Do the things that you know you need to do to get there. Simply put, if you don't want that life, then unfortunately, like, there's nothing else you can do. Like, if you don't want it bad enough yourself, no one's going to have enough motivation. You're not going to have enough courage to get up out of bed every single day because this shit isn't like a one-time thing, Bilal. I'm sure you know more than anyone that you have to get up consistently over and over and over and over again to see any results. Yeah, so if you just get motivated one day and do it, you're cooked. But if you have the grit and you know, hey, I want to have a better life, cut out all the distractions, make that your number one priority, and you know exactly what you need to do, bro. Just do it.
100%, dude.
That's it.
100%. Well, bro, that encapsulates everything I wanted to talk to you about, bro. At the end of the day, dude, you came in, you fucking did what you're supposed to do. You crushed it. And, bro, to be completely honest with you, you're probably you're probably gonna be one of the highest paid guys in this motherfucking
I will be the highest paid guy, straight up.
Yeah. So coming into December, February, bro, we're on your side, bro. Anything that you need, always feel free to reach out. In terms of anyone watching this, bro, who's been binge watching content on starting a business or whatever it may be, bro, I want you to realize, bro, that extra video, watching this, watching that, feeling that spurt of motivation, it's not going to get you anywhere. Start implementing, and then you can be like us, bro. You can see results, because this guy fucking gets an idea and he does it every single time without any failure. And that's exactly what it takes to become successful. So at the end of the day, bro, I appreciate you being in the community, bro. You're a fucking killer. You fucking light up the room anytime you join the calls. And we're super grateful to have you, bro. But,
yeah, I was going to say, I didn't cut you off, bro. Like, if you guys, want to check out my YouTube channel, I just started posting videos 2 months ago. Fucking vlogs are going crazy. And Instagram is where I drop, like, daily content, too. So we'll put that in the description. Yeah. You guys can take a look at that.
Tag that in the bio. You guys already know what to do. Like, subscribe, follow this kid. He's a fucking killer. And you guys are going to see crazy results from him. But that's all I got for y'all. We'll catch y'all on the next one. And looking forward to it, bro. Appreciate you guys.
Peace.
Peace.
Yes,
boys.
sir.